Hello and welcome to the Athletic Soccer Show. Something a little bit different on our World Cup post-game review today. I'm joined by Sam Lee in Buenos Aires. Sam, it sounds like there's a lot of fun going on in the Argentine capital.
I don't think it had the same drama and certainly not the tension of the Mexico game when they knew if they lost they would be out. Obviously, it was the same situation here today, but those last two games in the group stage obviously calmed everybody down a bit. I think they turned up here today just expecting to go through the motions and win, and that's almost exactly what happened. I got a bit nervous as well. I felt nervous for them earlier. Too much. I can only imagine what the TV was saying back home in the UK. But they would have been. Yeah, a lot of fun, and now it's going to be a lot of fun as everybody tries to get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a little bit bouncy in terms of what we're hearing from you, but we'll do our best to work our way through it. I mean, you can imagine the scenes. No, of course, it's not your fault. But this it was an interesting game in some ways, and like you say, I don't think they maybe were expecting the trepidation, if you will, of those kind of last few minutes. But in some ways, it felt like a reasonably routine performance for Argentina for lots of it. I think you look at these games in so many different ways, and it's hard. I think we might have lost Sam, which is fair enough considering he is in the middle of the Argentine capital, and the signal isn't great. But I mean, let's just talk briefly about Argentina, because I think what we're seeing from this Argentina side at the moment is the fact that ultimately they are hard to break down. They are hard to beat. And you're looking at a side here that aren't brilliant at the moment. They are not maybe the all-conquering behemoth that people expected from them at the start of this tournament. But equally, you look at it and you think this is a team who are very hard to score against, and you only need to see the Australia goal, I think, to understand firmly that this is not, it's going to take something either really magical or a moment of freak luck to score against this side. They look defensively cohesive. You look at Otamendi, who many had questions out. I thought it was a very, very impressive performance today. You go to that three at the back system that Scaloni implemented in the second half of this game. And with all that said, you kind of look at that performance and think, okay, it's not as pretty a scoreline as perhaps they would have hoped, but with those lost chances from Lautaro Martinez towards the end, you'll be looking at a team that could quite comfortably have won this game 3 or 4-1 if Lautaro could, finish his dinner, to be perfectly honest with you. When you look at that performance generally and across the whole of the last two performances in the group stage, as Sam mentioned there right at the start, maybe this wasn't the kind of explosion of relief and joy that Argentine fans were looking for in this performance, but it was pretty standard, I think, in terms of how the game went along. And therefore, how Argentina will look at this. They go into this game against the Dutch now in the quarterfinal, which is a lovely, lovely tie. I think everyone, all football romantics, would think that the blue and white Albi Celeste stripes against the Orange of the Netherlands is one of those iconic World Cup matchups that we maybe haven't seen for a little while. And it's those two colours feel like an old school World Cup matchup. But if you look at the two games today and you see the Dutch beat the Americans earlier on, and you look at the way the Argentines have just beaten the Australians, I don't think you're looking at a major favourite for this game. But I do think that if the Dutch stand off and allow Argentina the time and space that they allowed the US to have today through the middle of the park, you'd imagine that Messi is going to come up with something big again, because there were moments and flashes today where I think you're looking at this game and thinking, right, if he's given time and space, he is still one of the most magical players in the entire world to watch. We're going to have a little break now. We're going to just try and see if we can get Sam back on the show. But for now, thank you for tuning in to the Athletic Soccer Show.